Hello, and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder and his amazing hacks. The year is 2012. In World of Warcraft, the cataclysm expansion is ending, and mysterious hackers cause a wave of spontaneous death throughout Azeroth. That's the story that has been told in numerous mainstream media outlets and YouTube content farms. But I wanted to know the truth behind the sparse information that was endlessly cut and pasted across the internet. Reports from the time credited a guy called Jadd as being the prime mover in the hack. I knew Jadd was still active on owncore.com, so I contacted him there, and he turned out to be incredibly helpful, providing most of the footage in this video, which has never been seen before publicly. I learned that the true story behind the hack is, if anything, even more astonishing than was revealed in news reports from that period. The basis of the hack was both ingenious and ridiculous. The spell used in the hack was only supposed to ever be used by the non-combat pet Creepy Crate. Jadd and another individual known as Master674 had been developing rival software packages for WoW and decided to write something together. Now, it is important to understand that the kill hack was developed by the use of an extremely powerful method known as packet editing or packet manipulation. Information sent between computers, such as your computer and Blizzard's server, is broken down into packets, and if you can edit or otherwise manipulate those packets in transit, you can potentially alter the outcome of that communication to your advantage, in this case manipulating the behavior of a video game. This is an extremely complicated subject that I'm not going to attempt to explain here, but this is generally the most extreme form of hacking you can use, since, unlike someone such as myself who primarily uses exploits, you are not just dependent on manipulating a game through in-world interaction or taking advantage of coding errors. You are actually altering the structure of the code itself. It is also, as we'll discover, a fairly naked violation of the terms of service, as well as being at best legally dubious. So now let's go back to Master and Jadd. They discovered the Crate Grip spell and realised it was essentially a suicide spell, and they had the idea to test it in a battleground with mind control and were amazed when it worked. They further realised that the unique pet spell cast packet only required them to change the ID to that of the player in question, and it would allow them to tell their, inverted commas, pet to cast a suicide spell on themselves. This worked on literally every mob in the game, even normally unkillable units like target dummies. Here's the packet they actually used. I asked Jadd if they'd used the hack to clear raids, and Jadd said they avoided current tier content, but did farm Barradin Hold, as the bosses were dropping 500 gold each, and for reasons unknown, the raid could be reset. Eventually they decided to attack the cities as they were concerned that someone else had discovered the exploit. Master had told Jadd that NPCs were dying randomly in Orgrimmar. Fearing that the hack would get fixed, they decided to give it a good run while it lasted, and the rest is history, with the story that resulted blowing up across international media. Jadd told me that Blizzard subsequently tried to sue them for damages, but quickly abandoned legal action when they discovered that both Jadd and Master were minors at the time of the hack. Jadd shared the legal documents in question with me. As you are no doubt aware, Blizzard is a premier developer and publisher of entertainment software. After establishing the Blizzard label in 1994, the company quickly became one of the most popular and well-respected makers of computer games in the world, by focusing on creating well-designed, highly enjoyable entertainment experiences Blizzard has maintained an unparalleled reputation for quality since its inception. You can tell this is an old document. It goes on bragging like this for another paragraph. It has come to our attention that you, under the username Jadd, have recently been involved in producing and disseminating online a hack known as WoW+. Included in the WoW+ software were hacking methods that could be used to instantly kill any playing character within the World of Warcraft game. The effect of this was to cause significant realm disruption in some of the major cities featured in the World of Warcraft game. The dissemination of WoW+ resulted in a severe disruption of the World of Warcraft online service in all regions, and led to a large number of complaints both directly to Blizzard and also on World of Warcraft users' online forums. The WoW+ hack also resulted in widespread media attention across the globe, as demonstrated by the following media article, which was published on the BBC website on 8th of October 2012. There's something very implausible about the way that Blizzard attempt to play the victim here. They are, after all, a billion-dollar corporation that got screwed over by a couple of what were technically children because they didn't protect their game properly. In addition, it is very difficult to believe that the company was seriously hurt by this incident. By 2012, Warcraft's period of fashionability in mainstream media was long over, and this was the last time they would get exposure outside of the specialist gaming media. There's also something very cynical about the way that they implied that the complaints to their forums were in any sense out of the ordinary, since on any given day there are numerous public complaints about more or less everything there. As Jadd told me, we were just making our own fun in a game that was no longer providing fun for us, and we were just kids too. We didn't really think about the consequences or hurting Blizzard. It is interesting to note that if you watch through the footage that Jadd provided, it becomes apparent that the players had much more of a sense of humour about the incident than Blizzard did, essentially treating it as a fun one-off event. Of course, you wouldn't want this happening on a daily basis, but for temporary periods at least, I believe this type of hack can actually add value to the game, albeit in a slightly perverse way. Apparently, afterwards, Master subsequently left the hacking scene to finish a computer science degree. Jadd no longer works on WoW, but can still be found on Encore working on interesting projects associated with other games. The hack has passed into legend and will always be considered one of, if not the greatest hacking incident in WoW's history. It is often possible to do similar things by acquiring area of effect debuffs from raid bosses and other mobs and porting into capital cities, but more modern exploits like this can't be as easily scaled up or used as efficiently. I'd like to thank Jadd for his help in the making of this video. It's unusual to find someone with his intellectual abilities who is also so helpful, generous and candid. So there's the video. If you liked it, why not subscribe? And if you really liked it, why not consider joining my super secret Patreon feed where hacks too hot for YouTube get posted on a continuous basis. Thanks for watching. This has been Archvelder. Warcraft really has become boring.